LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Honey, they have been beefing for what it seems like. I think we about to be on 2 or 3 weeks.
I think since Bronny, but it got intensified since Bronny got drafted to the Lakers.
Exactly. So let me give y'all a quick little background before I play the clip for y'all of the recent incidents that happened. So LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, who works at ESPN, continue their heated dispute over NBA media coverage. LeBron is accusing Stephen A. Smith of making personal attacks rather than analyzing on-court performance. The feud began when LeBron confronted Smith at the Lakers game regarding his critical remarks of his son, Bronny James. And if you know, we covered it in the past. He's now in the league. LeBron had originally said that he wants to play with Bronny James and he'll go to whatever team that whatever. So now Bronny James is with the Lakers. We've talked all about that, right? So Stephen A. Smith defended his comments, stating that Bronny was only in the NBA because of his father, which we agree. LeBron later called out Stephen A. Smith for exploiting their confrontation for personal gain, promoting that Stephen A. Smith to retaliate, calling James a liar. Well, prompting Stephen A. Smith to retaliate, calling LeBron James a liar and threatening a physical response if touched. The conflict remains ongoing, with both figures doubling down on their positions, right? So Shayla, before we get into like all the other stuff, like when you've seen like this stuff that's been happening as people who work in the media, right? And we literally have a podcast where we share our opinions and stuff like that. How, like, when you saw LeBron James walk up to Stephen A. Smith at that game and basically tell him, like, hey, like, leave my son's name out your mouth, basically. Like, what was your reaction to it?
I feel like I was okay with it. I feel like when you know Stephen A. Smith is not just like a regular media personality. He has a humongous reach. So I feel like anything that I say, I stand by it. And I think you also have to be like, keep that same energy. Stephen A. Smith is known to spark a lot of like, he likes to get reactions from people. And that is surely exactly what he did. And he found the right one. I feel like LeBron had let it slide a lot of times. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it gets to a point. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is, that is his son. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like probably Bronny hears this. Not probably. I know he hears this, right? So imagine, you know, this makes your son feel a type of way, regardless of the nepotism aspect of it all. But aside from LeBron being the athlete, he's a human, he's a father. So if you see that these words are affecting your son, yes, I should have a right to go up to you and just let it be known. You know, and LeBron said when he went on the Pat something show, the show, right? He said, like, I don't mind you talking about him, but it's when you make it personal where it's kind of triggering, right? Because he said, I understand that it is your job to critique, right? And everybody critiques LeBron James. He is, you know what I'm saying? For some, the GOAT of the NBA, of basketball. So he's used to it. But I feel like the constant, especially like First Take and ESPN, sometimes they talk about the same topic for a full week straight. Like, let it go. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a secret that, yes, the fact that he is LeBron James' son gave him an extra boost to make it to the NBA. But like I said, if I'm in the NBA and the WNBA and my daughter wants to be in the WNBA, if I could help her, I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, people do that all the time. So when I saw that, I was just like, well, you get out there, you say what you want to say, be ready for the consequences.
I agree with you. I think for me, when I first saw the video and everything like that, the first thing that came to my head is like, you know, I'm very big on like family stands up for family. Like, I don't play that. Like, you talk sideways about my family, I'm going to talk sideways right back to you. Right. But my thing is also, when I saw this, I'm like, is he going to come for everybody who's, because it's not just Stephen A. Smith who said, your son is literally in the NBA because of you.
But Stephen A. Smith gets personal, and that is the difference. That is what triggered him. Every day you're talking, you get on First Take and talk about my son and how he's this and how he's that. At some point, Yes, I let it slide the first 2 weeks after the draft. But it's been how long? And you still talking about him? Not only his skills, but just him as a person. Like he's never gonna make it. He's never this. The same thing. Like Jaylen Brown was caught, in a hot mic moment, talking down on LeBron James. But that was like one incident. When you keep poking, at some point you're gonna reach the limit. Like I'll let
Exactly.
it slide for a month, but then let it go.
And I agree with you. Like I said, I agree. I don't think what LeBron did at all was wrong in my eyes. I think what he did was rightfully justified. But also, it's like if everyone has been saying the same thing, and I understand we're talking about he made it personal because he said Bronny James isn't good enough to be in the NBA. Da, 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 da. I can give you 7 other analysts who have said the same point. I just want you to have that same energy for everybody. Like that energy need to be widespread. And I'm not making excuses for Stephen A. Smith because I know there's gonna be someone who misconstrues what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Stephen A., you put it out there and you got the energy that you deserve. But also, everybody else who's having that same energy, LeBron, I need you to stand 10 toes as well. But I want to show the clip that we talked about where he went on the Pat McAfee show where they talked about his whole beef with Stephen A. Smith, and then Stephen A. Smith responded. Yes.
But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready?
So I just want to say first, in the same breath of what I'm saying as, LeBron James, if you're going to have the beef with Stephen A. Smith because, you say it's personal and stuff like that, I think there are other people who have said stuff as well that I want you to have that same energy with. In that same breath, Stephen A. Smith, shut up, respectfully. Like, I get it. If you had a problem with it, when you addressed it the first time, let it be that and keep it pushing. But as you said, Shayla, a lot of times on First Take, it's regurgitated content. How many times do we have to keep talking about the same situation? Because at the end of the day, y'all are not going to fight. LeBron James is going to do his job, and Stephen A. Smith is going to do his job. Okay, what's next? You don't think Bronny James is made for the league? You don't think that he's ready? A lot of us have had that opinion. But guess what? He's still playing in the G League, and he's still coming off the bench when they need him to come off the bench. So nothing changes at the end of the day. So it's like, it's very much what is the point? Right. And so Stephen A. Smith talk about, is it because you're not number one on my GOAT list? Is it because you don't have no friends in the immediate? It's like, it's irrelevant points. The point of the matter is, and if you are standing by what you said, all you have to say is, I said what I said. If you don't like it, that's fine. We're not friends. It's my job.
Yeah, and he just keeps digging a deeper hole. Then he talk about some, why weren't you at Kobe's funeral? And then the next hour he had to, clear up the air because in fact LeBron James did attend Kobe's funeral. So it's just, you keep digging a bigger hole for yourself. And also at the end of the day, aren't you the journalist in the situation? Are you or are you not? Because LeBron James is the athlete. And I wholeheartedly believe that as the athlete, you should be able to say and respond to what others are saying about you. But if you're the journalist, stand by what you say. I think obviously he's advanced from journalist to like not a spokesperson, but like a correspondent, someone that just gives their opinion. Because, Stephen A. Smith is just known to always have these like outlandish opinions. And honestly, I feel like sometimes he does it to get reaction because a lot of people, it's a reactive show. People love if we're saying, an apple is an apple, but he'll get on the show and be like, an apple is a banana, because that will bring engagement and it'll spark controversy. And it is what it is. And to Rebecca's point, I've said it a billion times. Yes, we all know this. We feel like Bronny James needed way more practice before he got to where he was. But at the end of the day, I don't see people having a full show just based on Bronny. And that's it. And if you feel strongly about what you said, you're trying to, and then he goes, and by he, I mean Stephen A. Smith, he also has like a podcast after his show, like later at night. And he's talking about If he came up to me and punched me, like I would punch back. And he did admit in the same sentence that obviously like he would lose and LeBron James would obviously the athlete come out the winner. But it's just like, as a journalist, as the supposed to be bigger person, why are you even putting these narratives out there? Oh, if he would have hit me.
Yeah,
What?
it's very much like let it go, drop it. Like, and my whole thing is, right, one of the points that he made was that, oh, LeBron James, you're really gonna be that petty. It's like, if you've watched First Take, Stephen A. Smith is just as petty.
He's the king of petty.
Like, he is just as petty. The amount of times he's gotten into beef with people on his own show and has been petty in his responses and like trying to get a rise and reaction out of them. It's like,
LeBron. And the thing with Stephen A. Smith, he hates to be clocked. Because I remember when we had Monica McNutt on set. I don't know if she was on set. It was some situation. And she clocked him. Oh, he felt so offended. The same like, thing really? That happened with Shanae Ogumake. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but he hates to be clocked. He thinks it's a one-way street. I can say whatever you want. I mean, I can say whatever I want, but then the person that should just receive this information and stay shut. Well, no, you will find the right one, and you will find some people that do have something to say, and they will respond and keep the same energy. The same way you feel like you are free to say whatever you want, LeBron James should be free to say and do as he pleases. That's
right.
It.
And then he's going to break down like, oh, like you were onto the show, like, you know, it's right after us. Why would he sit down and talk to you? And if honestly, if they did do an on-set first,
I don't want to give you the ratings. I'm petty. Right.
No, facts. And my whole thing is, to your point, right? Whenever he is questioned or corrected or anything like that, like, he does not like to be wrong. It's very machismo energy. He gets very loud, he gets belligerent, he gets all this stuff. And like, I remember hearing this phrase, like, just like the loudest person is the weakest person, right? So it's like, just because you get loud and you keep nipping and like keep talking, like, that does not make you like a bigger person in my eyes. That, to me, it's like the amount of times I've watched First Take and I've had to change it because I'm like, all right, you're not saying nothing of true value or importance. Like, you're just nipping, you just keep going. And it's like, sometimes you could dead a conversation and still be the winner.
That part.